everyone, welcome back. I'm Domingos. I'm also known as DMA and appreciate when I'm called DMA. So today we have this equation, x to the power 4 minus 2 square root of 3t squared plus x plus 3 minus square root of 3 equal to 0. So the mathematics trick that we're going to apply here is first checking that we have square root of 3, square root of 3. So we will let that the square root of 3 is equal to a number that we don't know, a number t. But of course, this is definitely a number greater than 0. Okay, it has to be a positive number because square root of 3 is a positive number. Okay, so doing that, we can square both sides. We will have 3 equal to t squared. Okay, now we will replace where there is square root of 3 and 3 by t and t squared. So we're going to have x to the power 4 minus 2t x squared plus x plus, where there is 3 is t squared minus t equal to 0. Now the second approach will be solving this equation, but now in which respects to t. So the highest degree of t is 2, so that means it's a quadratic equation. So grouping that, we will have t squared, factorizing the t here with this t, will have minus 2x squared plus 1 t plus x to the power 4 plus this x here equal to 0. Okay, so this is now a quadratic equation. So if we solve this quadratic equation, then we will find first the delta, which is b squared minus 4ac. So we're going to have this expression squared, 2x squared plus 1 squared. I'm not using the negative because of these two, that negative disappears because it's even. So minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, constant c, which is x to the power 4 plus x. So delta will be equal, expanding here, we have 4x to the power 4 plus 4x squared plus 1 minus 4x to the power 4 minus 4x. Symmetric, they cancel. So we have delta is equal to 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 equal to 2x minus 1 squared. All right. Okay, so that means we have square root of delta as 2x minus 1. So we're going to have that t will be minus b plus or minus square root of delta over 2a, which will be equal, this minus and this minus will cancel out, becoming positive, so it will be 2x squared plus 1 plus or minus 2x minus 1 over 2 times 1, which is 2. So we can work first with positive or with the negative, but we can work first with the positive. So with the positive, t will be equal to 2x squared plus 1 plus 2x minus 1 over 2. We can simplify the 1 because they're symmetric. We have 2, we have 2. We can factorize and it will be simplified with the denominator. So we will be left with x squared plus x. But if t is equal to this expression, we know what's the value of t. The value of t is square root of 3. So we can simply go back and say x squared plus x is equal to square root of 3 here. So that means x squared plus x minus square root of 3 is equal to 0. So we can solve this problem. So x is going to be equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus square root of 3 over 2 times 1. So x will be equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of minus and minus positive 4 square root of 3 plus 1 over 2. So this number results in a positive number. So it's fair to say that the square root of this expression will produce a positive number. Okay, so we have first value of x, there is plus or minus, so that means there is 2 values for x here. So the second approach will now be as using the negative. So t will be equal to 2x squared plus 1. This negative, when it enters, will be minus 2x, and when it enters to the 1, it becomes plus 1 over 2. Okay, so that means t will be equal, 1 plus 1 is 2, so we will factorize 2 in the numerator, so we will have x squared minus x plus 1. Why factorizing 2? Because we can simplify with the denominator. But what is t? T is equal to square root of 3. So we're going to have x squared minus x plus 1 equal to square root of 3. So x squared minus x plus 1 minus square root of 3 equal to 0. All right. So we can solve this quadratic equation. So that means x is going to be equal minus b, which is going to be 1 plus or minus square root of minus b squared minus 4 times a times c, which is 1 minus square root of 3 over 2. So x will be equal to 1 plus or minus. This will become minus 4. With this one will become minus 3. So we're going to have 4 square root of 3 minus 3 over 2. So there is plus or minus here. That means there is 2 values for x. Here there is plus or minus. That means there is 2 values for x. So that means we have the 4 values for x, since the highest terms of our equation is 4. So that means we should at least have 4 values for x. Okay, so that's how we should solve this problem. So if you enjoy, leave your like, your comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share with your friends.